What?
Too much like this.
No, but I'm gonna make his mouth smaller from here to there. I'm gonna clap it from here to there. I will. You have to learn. Okay. We cannot get any. You don't have any fresh chickens at all.
No, so not even a little one.
Well, we'll have to go with that. Let's see what I need my.
Hello. Oh, they're so cute.
Who's that? Are you on the video, look? Oh.
Norman, oh, look at them. Aren't they adorable?
We're coming for Wednesday. No.
Oh, yeah, because maybe we can reserve.
Save me some fee.
That's not bad idea. Good for Wednesday. Ask them to put it on the list. Or what we said, just come
I
It's
think.
for Wednesday morning. Yeah, what sort of size?
How do they come? How do they run?
Well, they're from £4.
Well, for 8 people.
And they go right up to about £8.
3 4-pounders? How about 3 4?
4 pounders?
2 £4. Certainly. Will do.
2 or 3, Diane?
What?
2 or 3?
2. Think small from now on.
Does this look like something that's spot small?
High-class butchers. Are you getting the sound?
I hope the camera is.
I don't have a mic.
It's all right.
High-class butchers. We're on a street with buildings that go back to the 13th century, and some beautiful shrub growing over this building. I don't know what it is, but we'll find out.
Chillingford is the name of the town. Chittingford? Or
Chillingford?
D's, not L's? Chillingford.
D's and 1 L.
Chilling.
His tongue's sticking out. And his tongue's sticking out. What is this?
Not expensive, and it's very good food. Okay, let's
The swan. Not expensive, very good food. Get a picture of the swan, Jerry.
Where's the swan?
Down at the
This
end.
pub up here where the sun.
Now, we've been recommended to try and eat at the Swan, which is that pub across the street there. Norman's turning around. I know. I hear him.
I'm going to hold you for that next time.
All right, show us, where are we going to, Norman?
No,
Where are we going? What is it?
What is it?
It's a farm shop.
And why are we going here?
Well, we're going to buy all the lousy vegetables we can possibly buy. The cheapest, because I spend too much money for meat.
We'll cut out the rotten spots.
What?
Sure. We'll cut out the rotten spots.
Yes. No, and if you look here, if you come around, okay, you'll see the cheese department. Look at all the cheese.
So they can't focus through the glass.
You can't focus through the glass?
No, because they're
We're
down
going to
south.
go in there.
No, wait, let me...
Come in this way, and you'll see all the vegetables. Look. Right now. Luckily.
That's too wet.
Oh, 1 second. That's it.
Some.
Are we getting some more?
You take it. I'm out of it.
Dan, take it out of the basket.
Are we getting some more what?
Oh, the salad.
Well, we got something for today.
For tomorrow and Monday.
You were saying you wanted the apple.
I bought it.
This is Godalming's answer to the green thumb.
You like kohlrabi, Norm? Maybe I'll do kohlrabi.
Here it is. You don't want that.
Norman, you're not still growing rhubarb, are you? In the garden?
No, that's gone.
Should we buy some? Should we make some stewed rhubarb?
You should have.
You know, they have nothing. We may have to go someplace else. What are we going to, well, here's.
Now, what about the pears? Oh, these conference pears. I knew I didn't have no idea.
What I have to say,
Yes.
quite a large variety of foodstuffs, considering the time of the year.
What time of year is it?
It's a spring, it's not summer yet. It's still quite a nice choice.
Where are you?
I'm in merry old England, somewhere out in the countryside.
Back of a big bag of cat litter.
The food prices don't seem that bad. They seem comparable to the United States. At least cheaper than New York City. I highly recommend that everybody come here and spend a couple of years.
You can get some oatmeal?
This is the rainy time that I have to cook for 45 minutes. Anything,
Yeah.
anything to make my husband happy.
She says it.
Actually, this oatmeal is actually
Marty.
Can't you get one of those things that run for 2 hours rather than 20 minutes?
This will run for an hour.
this will run for a long time.
An hour is fine.
An hour will run for, or 20 minutes if you want to do it on extra, high definition. You'll see what it looks like. What do you think, Miss Farino?
I think that I want to move here.
She already has a plot afoot to kill the tenant in Norman's cottage. So there's a murder afoot here.
Uh-huh.
And
Anya. Anya is a thing of the past. Susan is moving in.
Okay.
a Mitsubishi Montero, 4-door no less.
You're like a meat red.
I see that's the United States.
I know you do, but it's rare to see it here.
We get back home by 6 o'clock. I'll take you riding with all the interesting places.
Great.
I think, okay?
We'll start with Australia.
All right. I left New York in 1948. I left New York and they brought me to Australia to do a musical. Marinka. Marinka, which is the story of Australia.
What are we having for dinner tonight?
We're having, well, what about starting with me to begin with? No, we're going to have a sort of a first, I don't know, then roast beef with all the trimmings.
English roast beef?
Yeah, and then we're going to have an apple crumble.
What are all the
Then
trimmings?
another slave.
What are all the trimmings?
All the trimmings, we're having carrots and roast potatoes and spring greens. We're having everything.
A whole ball of wax. Now shall we go and see what the whole ball of wax looks like? We'll go into the kitchen, I think, to watch these wonderful chefs at work. Chefette. Susan, what are you cooking for dinner tonight? What is...
Carrots.
This is Marion making
I'm
her.
official peeler.
Yes.
I'm official dishwasher emptier. And I failed that because I put the peelings in the garbage disposal instead of saving them for the ducks.
So you won't have any eggs tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
see.
And this is Marion, who says
Marion?
it looks like the kitchen in Gavroche. There's so many peelers and slicers at work. And what are you making, Marion?
I'm making apple crumble.
Apple crumble. Can we take a quick look at that? And it looks like just apples to me.
There's the crumble in there.
That's the crumble in there.
The crumble's there.
I will look for it later. This one of your specialties? Specialities?
Yes, this is one of the house specialties.
Right. Now take a look at that.
Reserve 3 weeks in advance if you want Marion's.
And there's that roast beef.
There's a wonderful recipe, yes.
There's the roast beef. There it is.
Jared, you know what you'll have to do?
Diane, what are you cooking over there?
Well, I'm hacking up some leeks here. I think we're going to make sort of a gratin of leeks and kohlrabi, and we're going to improvise it in the microwave because we have no more burner space. And it may work, and then again,
Hey, who knows?
And the next scene should be all of this being served in the formal dining room.
The next wonderful shot should be the shot of all this getting put away for its final
I mean, the eating up.
transformation.
the Dinner.
Last shot of the kitchen, but
ducks here.
apparently we have to have one little picture of this crumple before it becomes a crumple. This is the before,
Oh, yes.
and now we have the after shot. There's the apple crunch, I think, and I think that's the roast beef right there.
Would you like
Looks like
to stock out the vegetables? Go on to get stock out the vegetables. No, for your gravy.
Are we ready?
Norman, what are you working on over there? Norman, what are you working on over there?
This.
This is going to be what?
Burnt, I'm not careful.
Burnt. Well, burnt what?
Yes. Qualified burning chef.
I see.
But as it turns out, it'd probably be beef in oyster sauce with ginger.
I see. That's your raw ingredients right there. What's that you're working on right there? And your
That's the steak.
that's the steak, raw steak,
Raw steak.
and other ingredients.
Oyster sauce,
Are we ready?
garlic, ginger, bamboo shoot, peppers.
All right. And the next shot will be actually coming to the table. Everybody, just before the meal's coming in. Let's see. Don't mind me. I'm just sort of trying to get some shots to bring home.
Do it nicely now.
Gracefully, yes. I'm going to let it fall on the table now, yes.
That's the something gratin,
Kohlrabi.
kohlrabi, gratin.
In the state of Denmark.
Marty's looking on with sheer indifference.
You don't have to point that out, Jack.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just putting my immortalizing it.
You think there's enough blankets?
Yes.
We're having our second grand feast in a row on our second evening. If this keeps up, they'll roll us onto the airplane.
We're going to be charged excess baggage on the way home. Sit down, Diane.
You're there. How many evenings can you go? And that way,
It's a teaspoonful for each.
Better put it after it goes by
Anybody
me.
who takes more than he, she, or it is
If you
entitled
take any more
to,
than that, you're in trouble.
Norman will scoop your brains out with this.
What do you want? I told you, to listen, nobody smile, nobody talk, because we have not got a contract. Unless we get a contract.
Have your lawyer call my lawyer in the morning.
no money in it.
You're going to miss
I'm gonna have
out. You're
equity
going to miss
on
out
you.
on the apple crumble.
I don't have equity on you.
Marion knows what kinds of threats get to you. She speaks your language.
No apple crumble? Wait a minute. I'll call. Stop right there. I want to see Marty smile. Whoop. Gotcha.
It's like one of those dogs
Mary?
that would lick the soul.
Come on, kid.
Mary?
Come on, kid.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not Mary.
Don't smile.
What's your name?
We're not equity, and we don't have to pay.
Betty.
Betty Crumb. Oh, you got to smile. Peggy.
Peggy.
We're
All
just
right.
talking about Betty.
Do you have the
We don't have to
microphone on?
smile?
Yes, the microphone is
The
on.
microphone
It's
is on.
recording. Now we're going to have
And
Susan.
we're gonna sue you.
Okay.
If you show these pictures, we're suing.
We want, yes,
And
right.
if it's on the big screen, we'll sue you for even more.
Marion's,
For repeats as well.
Right.
Residuals.
Marion's negotiating for residuals, exactly.
Help yourself to a little. Do you have a spoon?
Connecticut, I mean, how did you learn to do that?
I don't know, she was, I don't think I ate anything else but fried chicken there.
Isn't that interesting?
I don't think I
Because we
did.
had
I
wonderful
don't
things
remember.
that she made growing up.
What?
We had, growing up, and she made all kinds of
That was when you lost.
Not fried chicken? Well, there was fried chicken then. And of course,
He must have been
you didn't know,
before.
but Sadie, my sister, who died, you didn't know. Was like a daughter.
What's
She edited
that?
it, she considered her a daughter.
No, you're wasting your time,
In the
Sam. It's all
kitchen,
She
gone.
had her nieces,
It's all gone
the
now.
twins.
Yes, but she wanted a daughter. It was all,
Yeah.
it all went, it was the flashback. She had 2 boys, one of which is her father. And she always wanted a daughter.
Which one's that?
And of course Sadie was very,
Sound.
Sadie was very special, you know, and when Sadie died, she was just absolutely broken hearted.
When did
That happened in Los Angeles, you know.
what,
And
back
speaking-
then in the 40s or something? Or?
Oh, way before that.
Really?
Way before that.
She
before
died
that.
very young.
Yes, she died. She had an enlarged heart, and then they, at that point they didn't know anything about heart, you know, doing transplant. And you could see your heart. It come out like this, you know. It was terrible.
Let's get
It
back
really
to the
was.
fried chicken. I don't think we got that.
Did you get the fried chicken?
Forgive me, but it's better.
Diana's grandmother made the best fried chicken that I have ever tasted,
He's on stage.
and that was when I was 12 years old. It
I want to know about her. I want to know about grandmother's 2 children, her 2 boys.
George and Irving. Oh, and Sonia, George Irving and Sonia went to school together.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, they went to high school together.
Uh-huh.
What kind of students were they?
High school. They went to, that's how it all, where the picture, you know, the picture you made for your uncles, for George and that was when she was going to school there.
What kind of students were they?
Not bad, not bad. Listen, I was a
You're
baby.
doing this, you're not being
I
paid
was a
for
baby
this.
then.
You're not being paid for this, you realise? He's getting this
Oh, I
front sheet.
forgot.
But it's going, wait a minute, it's being done for the family. I know how to open it up again. We're sending a copy of this back to Rose and Sonia. It's being done for the family.
I'll talk. I need help. You know, I don't mean physically. I mean, you know, with a little piece of paper. Sign it, please.
No,
I just gotta check. I gotta check
Dear
it
Mom,
not
send
too long
money.
ago.
Right.
And I put it into the bank. And it came back today. It hadn't been signed.
Oh, no.
I'm on 200 pounds.
serves you right.
This is our bedroom, where we've been staying. Takes a while to zoom across the bed. And we go from the bedroom into the bathroom. I'm not quite sure if it's made up yet. However, one can get some idea of it just by, whoops. Now, you can see out the window. It's just an absolutely gorgeous view from our bedroom window. As you can see, it's not too shabby. There's some of the backwoods back there. Many of it has been destroyed by the most recent hurricane they had about 2 years ago, and it's just now starting to come back up. Now we're looking down upon the patio. I don't know if you can hear the birds in the background, but the birds are singing and twerping along, having a fine old time. This is all just the shots from our bedroom window. So the tulips are in full bloom right now. And it is just something to just marvel at. Some of the horticulture they have here, the trees and the bushes and all, just something wonderful. Diane? Can I say something?
Well, we're sitting on the back terrace of the wonderful, beautiful one and only Hayden Inn. And it's a glorious sunny day. The birds are singing. It's May the 2nd. And I just don't want to go home. That's all.
Oh, we don't have to go home for a few more days yet. There's a nice little tree over there.
Can you pan all the way around 360 degrees and get the house also?
Sure.
Up and down. We have Susan and Marty and Norman and his friend Marion, and the dog is Bella.
You're not going to sync with me.
Sorry, never
Is
forget
that
the dog
okay?
when you're in England.
Here's Marty Stein. Windsor Castle, the outside. This is the time is May 2nd.
Picture of everybody outside.
Whoops, wrong Norman.
We're going in.
Whoops, you're getting too close.
We're going into the entrance of Windsor Castle, where the old queen is.
Where what?
Where the queen is.
She is in residence.
Yeah, she's in residence. You see,
Do we
put
know
up
that
the flag,
because the flag is
because
up?
the flag is flying.
Hey, let me get zipping on the flag. Yeah. And there's that old flag. What we have here is a guard, Windsor Castle, who's standing absolutely still. Man has not moved in the last 5 minutes. Now he has just changed, doing something with his rifle. He was staying perfectly still before, and now he's starting to move. Yes, what else do we have down
Yeah,
there?
and then if you look at the church over there, that's Eton.
Oh, yes.
Eton College.
Eton College?
That's right, Eton College. It's over there.
Which is really, Jared,
And this is all where they give the horse carriage. They do the driving of horse carriages where Prince Philip drives a lot here. And they
All
have
along
the
here?
thing, yes.
Very nice. Take a look right down there.
Yeah. And it's lovely. Okay, now we're going to...
Seems angry.
Jared, get Norman and Marty and Susan too.
Yeah, I will.
They do it again?
I presume so.
Once and that's it.
I think he does it a few times, Marty.
Angry.
Jared, do you think we could use him at 333 Pearl Street?
Absolutely. Norman, stay over there. Stay over there. Until
Talk to the camera, Norman. Tell him what we're seeing.
What you're seeing, Windsor, you're seeing now over there are the traffic lights. And unfortunately,
She had a previous engagement
not only
this
is
afternoon.
this engagement, but she is entertaining some work. How can I compete with that?
Well, we think she was very easy.
She told me privately she would have much preferred to spend the afternoon with
Well,
you.
she told me
thinks
that
you're
too,
much
but
more
she
charming.
said this is the thing that went back.
Jared, did you get the picture of this unhappy civil servant here? He seems very bored in his work.
Put your hand down.
He is, and he stamps his feet.
what?
Very angry.
Angry.
Really?
Yes.
She decided she'd like to have a nice little condo in Orlando with a golf course in the front yard. It was better than having all these tourists.
So she's hired Swift and French?
Swift and French complete removal services.
Oh.
She decided that she got tired of the mob. She wants to be alone.
When it gets hot, then you can faint. I bet you that gun actually holds bullets.
Yeah?
It will serve a purpose.
Well, I don't know if it really serves a purpose. I don't know if he's ever been fired, but
No,
I wouldn't want to find out.
They don't want no one running down there and trying to gain.
Sure. What castle are we in now? This is the castle, Windsor Castle. You'll notice that we focus in.
These are the state apartments.
The state apartments, and what's on top there but a color TV antenna.
TV. Yeah. I'd like to do that.
That's where a lot of them are buried. The latest, I think, is King George and Nicholas. Did you know Queen Mary used to come to my house?
Wait, Norman's Gate, and who should be coming through it? And here comes Norman.
Wait a minute.
Pointing up to Norman's Gate. Is this?
Now get in.
Oh my!
I need you to go back and stand in the middle.
Nice.
I wish I could use that.
That happens.
You wish you could use what?
That gardener.
Their gardener. Well, why not? You know.
Well, look, Susan, at all these roses. Can you imagine what those will be like in June? Well, Norman, I don't know what Norman is.
Susan, Diane, wave goodbye. Hello.
Goodbye, please. Nice seeing you, dear.
Go. No. The tulips. Few hundred tulips.
The blossoming cherry.
The blossoming cherry trees.
Jared, over here.
Bobby in training. Here's St. George's Chapel. Oh, and there's 4 famous people leaving St. George's Chapel, talking and carrying on. So we'll just continue to pan and get some pictures.
I hope it'll be all right. Did you tell us?
They remember.
Well, actually, when we're walking through the house.
I understand. I understand.
Get us.
I'll show you where I
That's
bought it.
Jared.
I'll show you where I bought it.
So we're going to see where Norman bought the silver tray where I bring you your breakfast in bed, my darling.
For years and years.
Oh, where I bring you traditional Diet Coke in the old English manner. Let's get Susan at the postcard.
I can only do one at a time. Susan, what do you have here?
This is the postcard that I'm going to send back to everybody.
This is the Queen's new coiffure.
Looks wonderful. Let's take a look at it.
Bring it up close to the camera.
That's close enough. Now put it back where it was in the sun.
We have it made up.
There's no color. It's black and white. It's color when you print when you show it.
Jared? Tell me where we are.
We are in England, jolly old England. Visiting the Queen and waiting for her lunch.
Okay.
There's no prohibition or punishment in France.
Thank you.
Is it off? You gotta turn it off, though.
I don't know. How do I turn it off? I just took my hand off that button. Now
No,
what
you're
do
still
I do?
recording. You gotta take it. You gotta hit it twice so the recording button
didn't explain
turns away. Well, look through it and you'll see.
What do I do?
Push the button again and it'll turn off.
Look at these big tulips. God.
Wave.
I don't understand why they wouldn't give you Burton's ale. They had it in there.
Not very helpful. Philip type.
Hey, I'm posing for a still picture.
Oh, you want to?
Doesn't that look like her?
Oh, so that's what was the photograph.
Oh, this must be him and her. Is that how?
Come around, then we come back and watch the movie. We have to go in
She's
there.
younger here.
What?
She's younger here?
Yeah.
Is a young
You want to meet them?
That's what they speak in there.
Hey, Jared, go say hello to the Queen. I'm shooting now.
You want to get Marty's queen right now?
Such a punim you've never seen.
The elderly queen into the Latin house wasn't
Look up this way and smile. Diane? Smile. Yes, it is.
Now we're moving. Well,
Oh, have a look out of the
okay, it's Wednesday, the 3rd of May.
Wednesday, May 3rd.
Beautiful high wind, the birds are singing, the postcards are writing themselves because nobody ever does any work here. It's so beautiful.
Now we're viewing a far field. So the sheep aren't out today. We just come back from Brighton Beach. Brighton, I've been told, is not Brighton Beach. Can't quite make it out in the distance, but there's a swimming pool. Now, the lovely Mrs. Brown is going to walk down the path. We're following her every footstep, folks. She's looking at the white magnolias. She's walking across the grass, the green grass, to the, looks like the swing, where she's plotting herself down. Deciding whether or not she should really get on that or not. She's gotten on it and she's swinging back and forth. You look absolutely gorgeous, my dear, gorgeous. Like a fairy book story. And she's saying it is indeed a fairy book story. We're hearing the birds Now she's walking to the end of the garden. Diane, you should have a microphone on. She's walking by the rubels, whatever those are. Bluebells. Japanese maple, I do know, that's right over there. Bluebells, do we see how blue they are? She decides she's going to walk around instead. Looking shot from our bedroom window, by the way. She wants us to bring the camera down there and take pictures of it all. She's going to take some pictures herself. And Susan, say a few words for posterity.
What can I say? You're in paradise when you're at Hyden End. I don't think I'm going to adjust well to real life again.
She feels she's not going to adjust life.
Drink in the gardens, the house, the air, everything forever, and I would be happy.
I don't know if we're recording this or not, if you can hear the voice, but she's saying she's going to have a hard time adjusting to real life after moving out from Hyden Park and the patio, just standing there and moving back to the city or going back to the city.
Down here with this.
I know my eye, Jared Brown.
All right, now let's see what we're doing here.
We're plucking chickens.
Oh wait, I didn't get it on yet. Oh wait a minute, I just had, folks, I made a mistake.
What?
Go ahead, now what are you going to do?
We're going to go get some wine.
Okay, I just had the wrong button pushed. I didn't have the record on all this time, so you got to tell me all this all over again. Now, Susan, what?
Tell you about the
You want to meet the official plucker?
Tell me about
Would
the.
you like to meet the official plucker?
Yes, chicken plucker, please.
Susie, stop.
Why are you plucking chickens, Susan?
I am plucking chickens because my great-grandfather was an...
A shot or something.
That's right.
He plucked chickens.
A ritual chicken plucker.
Plucker.
He was a chicken plucker?
Second most
He had a good
important man
Jewish hand.
in the community, because the rabbi was first and the ritual chicken plucker was second. That's what my mother always told me.
You believe everything your mother told you, right?
Everything.
And Mrs. Brown, what are you doing?
Well, I have tried this.
She's putting her hand down.
Prearranged chicken, and I have opened the cavity.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
And
you
now-
open it. How do you open that?
It came that way. And now I'm going to put, I always insisted it be opened as wide
She's
as
going to
possible.
stuff it.
And then
You realize that this kitchen was as good as the kitchen that we saw in the Royal Pavilion tonight.
Yes, we think that
And we're
actually
cooking
Norman's
for-
kitchen is better than the kitchen of the Royal Pavilion of Brighton because it has a microwave, it has a dishwasher, it has a self-regulating
And not only
oven,
that, but we
a
use,
double fridge.
I mean, we have as many chefs in
We
this
have
kitchen
more
as they have
talented
there.
people than they have there.
Now, are we going to go and have a drink? I mean, are we going
Yes,
to
let's-
get
We know what's on this man's mind.
Perhaps there's an ulterior motive.
Are there any reasons you want to go have a drink?
No, I'm not. I've made a mistake. I want to go and get the bottle of wine so I can come right back.
Back here.
Do you know anything about wine? Because I know nothing about wine.
Yeah,
My-
the house wine.
Now, my technique for buying wine is saying, excuse me, what do you have that my wife won't hit me over the head with?
Good, look how you did that. Would you
Mrs.
like...
Brown? Can I see it, please?
What we have here, let's start with the top. Californian wild rice with wild
No closer, no
mushrooms,
closer. It's a little too close.
mushroom stock,
All right. Mushroom stock.
some Wait Rose's frozen petit pois, the very best, boiling away in salted water. We have some sauteed pecan nuts from Norman's stash. I don't know who brought them to him as a gift. I'm sure he didn't want all these riffraff from America eating it. And in the oven we have ready celery, and we have 2 free-range chickens,
Well, let's do 2 fish.
roasting and toasting. Well, they're about ready to come.
Yes, but in England we used to kill the chickens before we put them in the oven.
Oh, what a quaint idea.
frightfully sort of primitive.
No.
Prone for that sort of bloodletting.
It takes longer to cook, but
Come on, Norman, how do you do it in England then? You just sort of slit their necks or something first?
Well, we get the axe and we go whoosh, and the egg goes oops.
You show us with this lovely piece of luggage.
We get the axe and we go lush like that, and the egg goes whoosh, and the turkey goes moo. And then we pluck it with a pig, pluck it.
With a what?
Pig, with a pig.
A
Pluck,
pea.
pluck.
That's the problem we had before too.
Then we pluck the chicken,
I usually pluck with the cuties.
and then we put the hand up the thing, and we pull all the watsits out, and then we stuff it again with bits. This, that, and the other. Ideas.
I use mostly the other tonight. I hope you guys can tolerate it.
And when we can afford it, we actually put some heat in the oven, but it's when we've got the money.
Well, let's see. We'll see what these ducks come out looking like.
It's so expensive, my dear. Must fly.
Slicing up the turkey. Very well done.
Chicken, darling.
Chicken. Then we have,
And he's doing a beautiful job.
no, I got the bone here.
and the other chicken is still there. Look at that chicken, folks. And there's a sliced up chicken. And there's my lovely wife over there making beautiful gravy.
Maybe to your specifications, dear.
Oh,
Real high-tech gravy here, folks.
what do you think about that gravy, sweetie? What? Disgusting.
Did you nuke it already?
Which, the gravy?
The rice.
You told me to, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to nuke it at the last minute.
Well, read it. Who might be watching this film?
Nobody.
Nobody knows.
It's a shame that we can't see all this, you know. The film, the videotape won't play in this machine. It won't play here in England.
Well, we can get, oh yes, you can get it converted though.
Can we get it converted?
Yes, at London Weekend Television or any of the television stations.
Well,
Anybody know where it's a
yeah, well,
television?
can you convert that?
Yes,
We can try and
Send
convert
it to
it.
me?
We'll have to send it to you later on.
we might have to send you, Jared might have to send you the American and have you convert it here. I think that might be better. But we'll try, we'll look.
No,
We'll look
no,
into it.
that's
So then
possible.
why can't we then raise when she does hers?
Because she has to take the
She's using compatible,
I mean, this is an American tape. She doesn't have an American tape.
Come and get it, everybody.
Come and get it.
so
Come get
it'll
it.
work out.
Soup's on.
Let's go. You start the.
So,
So edible.
first online, who's there? Let's see. Right, we have Peggy,
Little gravy
and we
like.
have Susan.
Oh, look at this.
Diane, it's absolutely wonderful.
Hey, Norman, he carved it.
What is all this?
Norman, you carve?
No, Norman, it's over there. You're going the wrong way.
Don't tell me
No,
what.
he wants, he likes to
He'll
pick.
just pick.
He likes to pick.
Just pick, okay.
Me and Henry VIII.
Norman Lawrence did this beautiful braised
You
celery.
should throw it over your
Did I
shoulder.
do the celery?
You did do
Did it come out well?
I don't know, we'll see, it looks great.
Now, which, is this
You
the
should
stuff?
throw it over your shoulder, the bone over your shoulder off your
No, no. But look at this. This is what I want.
And
It's
Susan, the old decapitated bird.
Oh,
If anyone
Sam's
wants
been
to
licking that
pick,
spoon.
It's right there on the carving.
Well, I think Norman wants to pick.
Now, what's Norman eating here? We got a picture of it. Wherever it was, he was just...
Al Jones.
Now, this
Have
is
you
the
seen the
one I
picture of Al
tried.
Jones?
This is the one.
I'm not very pleased about being picked.
Should I leave the lights on, or do we want to do this little romantic?
No, we need the lights.
Norman, go get your plate.
I want the plate, Pass the
I didn't
plate.
even know we were doing braised celery.
Well, you know that, Norman Lawrence, he's got a trick up every sleeve.
And this is the, what is this, Diane?
That's it, oh, that is the
This
little, Jared's request. So
What is it?
Some gravy?
Do we need a special spoon
have to
for
give him a
that?
spoon for
Is that the gravy?
It is.
I'm on the wing.
Hold on.
Have to wait.
Oh, for the wings, for the
I'll take
wings
this.
of the dawn.
I enjoy this part.
Well, Peggy, I have.
Don't take
sauce.
the dressing that it has for
George,
Sauce has gravy.
you don't need the little sauce, it's made
No.
at Jared's request and it has flour in it.
Okay.
Don't eat what?
this
The
sauce.
stuffing.
The stuffing.
I'll have some of this.
Wunderbar.
Cattle gobbling in the background.
Where's the town?
Okay, you're on.
Waiting for the train while Marty fixes Susan's watch. Always a,
Look normal.
Marty, that's our tape. Mess up my tape.
We just had, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes?
We just had a breakfast of kippers that Norman graciously provided us with.
Delicious.
And then we
Toasted. What were they? They were roasted or they were baked?
smoked kippers.
Smoked. Have you
And
never had that in the city?
Marty Stein, the world accomplished traveler, bon vivant, got us a travel card so we can go into London and back and ride the subways all day for $9.
The tube, please, the underground.
Tube.
Yes, no, what did he say?
He said the subways.
No, the tube.
Okay, here we are at London. And who do we see emerging from the train but Miss Diane and Miss Susan.
Turn it off and then turn on it and get a picture of the signs as well on the station.
Waterloo. Right.
Take pictures. Get that on there.
Looking down the train. Good luck telling us when it's and counting. Beautiful. What park? Hyde Park.
Must be. This one's for Richard. For Hyde Park. Mineola's just up the road a piece. Next to Knightsbridge.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of these white tulips.
Purple tulips.
Purple tulips. The wrong way. Blue tulips. What are those things down there? Blue something.
The temperature is about
75?
75
Yeah,
easily.
at least.
And it's fairly sunny. We have an unusually beautiful London spring day.
The weather's been getting progressively warmer.
In case you folks didn't get that, that's Tulip Diane. Almost like Steak Diane, or
Lady Di herself. That's it.
well, not as beautiful as Lady Di herself. So I shouldn't be shooting into the
Do my
sun.
famous imitation of a tulip. Ribaldry and jesters.
You have the young schoolgirls going after their morning, whatever,
Constitutional.
constitutional, coming right this way in their little uniforms.
Their little straw hats.
They all have their little straw hats on also neatly.
Oh, you got the ones in the front running.
Oh, there they go, there they go. Breaking ranks.
Schoolgirl alert. You zoom in on them?
I just did.
Okay.
They're not as efficient. I have to repeat this on my own.
No, you're on.
But the Shakers, this is in America, the Shakers invented the flat broom, which is much more efficient.
But obviously,
Not as charming.
jolly old England, they're more into tradition than efficiency. Well, this is video bite.
Oh wait, I had the machine off this whole time. Can you explain what that is again, sir? Coot. Oh, I missed the coot.
Okay, ask him telling you. Well, they're more coot.
Canada geese over there,
Oh,
and
wait.
there was a grebe in the
Well,
centre.
is that the coot over there?
This is a coot,
He's going to zoom in on him.
Oh, you can zoom, of course.
Oh, there he is.
There's one coming towards us.
Where? Oh,
The
yes.
best time is winter here, when we get a lot of migrants as well. And they've now
Migrant what?
wildfowl, largely.
Those things swim. He swims pretty quick. And they call him bold as a cuckoo, because that white spot, that's the skin on top of his head?
Yes, yes. And up there is the famous serpentine lido.
What's
Where
that?
everyone used to go to swim in the lido. 10 years ago it was stopped because the water got poisonous. It was far too bad to swim in.
Sounds like New York
Now
City.
I've noticed they've opened it up again, so they can swim.
Sounds like New York East River.
Yes?
Any public body of water in New York that I'd care to swim in.
Can you swim in Central Park?
Not hardly.
I wouldn't count on it.
Then across the bridge through there is Kensington Gardens. Have you been there?
No, you two gentlemen haven't been to London before, and you haven't, I guess, been to Kensington Gardens. It's been many years.
Make our way along the Haymarket, we can see two of London's old established theatres. Across on my left-hand side, we can see the Theatre Royal Haymarket, where it's been a theatre of this sand since 1722. Its neighbour across the street is Her Majesty's Theatre. This is particularly interesting because it's the only theatre which we have in Edinburgh, which changed its name in 2011.
Pall-Mall? Are we on Pall-Mall right now?
Go on there since turn the corner.
Do you remember? I don't remember what number he said.
I never knew.
Street, Diane, this is Rough Street.
Left-hand side shortly, coming into our view will be St James's built in 1832 by Henry VIII. It was used as a royal residence right up until the time of Queen Victoria. But of course Her Majesty the Queen now lives in Buckingham Palace, which is just around the corner. It's interesting that you'll find the Queen at Buckingham Palace. Park is particularly interesting because
Green Park we're going over.
flower beds inside
There's
it.
no flower beds inside of it.
Charles II lives.
All of it is Charles II.
Charles II was walking through the park one day when he spotted one of his many visitors.
Now in Piccadilly, Hyden Park I should say, trying to move into the the queue of traffic. Going to where? Wellington Arch, we're going to pass. This will be the Wellington Arch.
If we look across to the right-hand side, through the trees, we can see a brownstone building with pillars outside. This is Apsley House. Apsley House used to be the home of the first Duke of Wellington, and its postal address is No. 1 Piccadilly. But the Duke was so loved by Londoners in his time that they all used to call it No. 1 London. Nowadays, if we'd like to see what it was like to live in the time of the first Duke of Wellington, we can go inside Apsley House, which now houses the Wellington Museum.
Wellington House across there.
See what the Duke of Wellington looked like without having to buy an expensive portrait. You have
Apsley House.
£5 note in your pocket.
A monument to World War I. At Hyde Park, I should say.
This brown sandy track is Rotten Road, and this is where we can see that ladies and gentlemen of society sometimes riding their horses, especially early in the morning. Rotten Row gets its name from our rotten French. It was, of course, exclusive, and of course we've got bicycles to match. Ahead of us and to our left-hand side is Harvey Nichols, a very famous department store in Knightsbridge. It's particularly famous for its window displays, which are always very good, and which are changed every month. Indeed, it was voted last year Shop Window 87. And inside Harvey Nichols you'll see 5 floors of top and back. It's been here since 1814.
Iguana is wearing.
Yes.
In fact, we should get a picture of this to send back to Elizabeth on 37th Street in Savannah.
All right. Past the Chelsea Barracks, and now we're having a fine example of an old English cab. Now we're at the Chelsea Bridge.
Now approaching the High Street of London, the Royal River Thames. And indeed, if the River Thames were not here, then London could not be the capital city of the United Kingdom. The River Thames is a tidal river, and it rises and falls by up to 20 feet twice a day. 20 feet is more than the height of this double-decker bus. And for some time, there was always a risk of flooding in London because of the high water level and high tide. Nowadays, we have the new Thames flood barrier, which is raised whenever the threatened high tide, and now London is safe from the flooding. Battersea Power Station for many years used to supply all the needs of electricity for London. There was a coal-burning power station, but nowadays, coal is not a very efficient way of generating electricity. For some years now, it's been out of service.
Tate Museum across the way there. This is in fact the Tate Gallery right here.
Because the man whose name it takes after is Sir Henry Tate. And he had 57 paintings which he wanted to show to the nation, but he didn't want to let them into the hands of the South Kensington Museums. So he built his own one, and this is the Tate Gallery we have now. He was, of course, Sir Henry Tate of the Tate and Lyle Sugar Corporation. The Tate Gallery has recently had a new extension open, which we can see across to our left.
Well,
Take you out in the background.
what? Now we're coming up to Buckingham Palace, I think, with the flag on top indicating that the Queen is in residence. That's not Buckingham Palace, it's really Westminster Abbey. Well,
We're now going to Buckingham.
Museum of Art and History.
This is the second bridge on this particular site, and this one has been here since 1932. As we make our way onto Lambeth Bridge itself, we look out across to our left-hand side, we're going to get a fine picture postcard view of the Houses of Parliament. And as we look at the Houses of Parliament, we're looking at the twin debating chambers of the House of Commons and the House of Lords. This is where much of the great affairs of state are debated and voted upon. The Houses of Parliament stand on the site of the old Palace of Westminster.
wow.
This particular building was designed by Sir Charles Barry with detailed drawings by Augustus Puget. It was opened by Queen Victoria in 1852. The Houses of Parliament cover a site of 8 acres. There are 11 courtyards, 100 staircases and over 1,000 rooms, and these are all connected by 2 miles of passageways. And indeed the riverside facade that we're looking at now is over 940 feet long. The large square tower,
The Victoria House we're looking at.
and the light
The House of Parliament is in fact sitting because they have the flag up.
see the bell unless we climb all the way to the top on the inside. What we're really looking at is St Stephen's Tower, but I've never met anyone, neither a Londoner nor a visitor, who's ever called it.
The entrance to the House of Commons.
Now looking further down, straight ahead of us, we're looking into Parliament Square. And on the corner of Parliament Square is the statue of perhaps the most famous Prime Minister of them all, Sir Winston Churchill. As you can see, he's still keeping an eye on it. As we make our way around Parliament Square, on top of the corner is the Margaret of Westminster. The Margaret of Westminster is the parish church to the House of Commons, and Samuel Pepys and Winston Churchill were both married here. And now on the left-hand side, and indeed many of them are also buried here. Also inside the abbey are tombs of statesmen, writers and poets, and also that of the unknown warrior.
Abraham Lincoln.
The nameless British dead at the end of Downing Street for too long for security reasons. But at the far end of Downing Street to its right-hand side, and usually with a policeman outside, is number 10, where the Prime Minister lives, and next door is number 11, the home of the Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Downing Square.
Governor's office on the left. But further along Whitehall, we're going to approach Horse Guards Parade. Here at Horse Guards Parade, we can see the Queen's Life Guard. They're mounted on horseback, but during the day, between 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. But outside these times, the Guard is presented on foot. The Queen's Life Guard here are symbolically protecting the life of Her Majesty by barring the entrance to St James's Park. Directly ahead of us now, we should be able to see Nelson's column rising high above our heads, with Admiral Nelson 184 feet high at the top. The square itself is named after the Battle of Trafalgar and the men and officers who lost their lives there. Admiral in front of us, the cream-coloured building with the pillars outside is Canada House, and Canada House is the High Commission for Canada. Across on the far side of the square, the long building which we can see is the National Gallery. This is a fine art gallery.
National Gallery.
On display inside are over 2,000 paintings, and this represents about half of the collection, which is constantly changing. bombs during World War II, and air forces all around
Fleet Street. Take a look at some of the glass that they have in this building here. It's incredible. This is modern street. This was the original.
here in the city.
Now it's still Fleet Street.
Demanded new technology and new premises. A number of them have already moved out to new premises in London's Dockland area. Cathedral.
St. Paul's Cathedral, just what we were looking at before.
The dome of the cathedral rising before us. This magnificent cathedral took 35 years to build. In part, it's based on St. Peter's in Rome, and its architect was Sir Christopher Wren, Fitz's most famous creation. Indeed, this is the church where Lady Diana and Prince Charles chose to be married in preference to Westminster Abbey. The dome itself is 365 feet high. It weighs over 64,000 tons, and we can climb...
Bank of England. It's the building without any windows on it. Apparently where the English keep their gold reserves. Smart idea.
Looks like the Federal Reserve Bank in downtown.
Similar to the Federal Reserve Bank in New York City. We have a London Bobby giving directions to some poor pedestrian. Lost.
And of course now at the very centre of a high technology age. You may centre at the lower level for the roadway to open in 2 halves. That lets the tall strip path in and out of the core of London. It is now possible to climb to the top of Tower Bridge, going up in an elevator on the left-hand side there, walk across the
Tower Bridge,
museum all about the Tower Bridge, and then come down again on the right-hand side.
There are some of the buildings on this far side. Now we're on the London Bridge itself right now.
In particular of HMS Belfast, which we can see towards there in the foreground. HMS Belfast
Now we're coming up to the actual Tower Bridge itself. Famous Bridge of London.
So we make our way onto Tower Bridge itself, and as we do so, we look at the bridge directly in front of us, see how much larger it is now than when we saw it from London Bridge a few moments ago. Tower Bridge is of course the one that opens in the centre.
You don't hear anything about the archers or anything else? Where the archers stood and shot their arrows out of the windows.
The archers?
Yeah, the archers. The guys that shot the arrows?
Left-hand side, across at the top, we can see the 4 turrets, which are the corners of the White Tower. The White Tower was built in 1078 by William the Conqueror. It was built to dominate the city of London. Indeed, in those days, it was by far which is now kept dry to preserve this ancient building, because there are now over 900 years of British history inside these walls. In its time, the Tower of London has been a prison, a fortress, an arm. Interested to know that all of the executions which took place here didn't take. LWT presents independent television programs on our televisions here in
The
London.
Inns of Court that we're taking pictures of right now.
Door neighbour is the National Theatre production. You can go in for a quiet drink.
London Bridge. So the new London Bridge, the old one seemed to have fallen down and ended up in Arizona. A little place to go for a little dining afterwards is the T.S. Queen Mary. It's not quite as luxurious as the original Queen Mary, but what England's doing with now. It's the original Queen Mary got moved, taking up permanent residence in Long Beach. What? This is the Cleopatra's Needle.
Cleopatra's Needle used to stand outside an Egyptian temple. It's over 3,500 years old, and we can see some of the Egyptian hieroglyphics written on the side. It does have a twin, which is in New Year in Great Britain, are still a little bit peculiar, and you might find yourself finding the place close.
Road, Hyden End, Hambledon near Godalming, Surrey, England. It's 7:30 in the evening, the sun is setting. Listen to the birds as we arrive at Hyden End, home of Norman Lawrence, our dear cousin. And it's yellow primroses blossoming on the hillside. It's the beautiful old Georgian-style stone house, Hyden End, that was built by a Viceroy of India and his wife. Hyden End, Friday, May 5th. We're getting dressed. Jared's putting his contacts in. And it's down the stairs to take the train to London for another beautiful day.
Are you ready?
Through the door, out to the terrace.
Let's go.
Tripping over the stairs. Say good morning to the birds. Say good morning to the garden. Good morning to the magnolia tree, the breakfast table. Say something, Norman. Tell us about
Good morning.
Friday.
On a beautiful morning like this, why in the hell are you going into London?
That's a very reasonable question. Why is the record flashing? I don't know. Time to go, but we just have to have one more look at Norman and at the house.
Look at that magnolia. Take another one of the magnolias.
Take another one of the magnolia.
And take one of the Japanese ash.
Is this the Japanese ash, the one I think is the Japanese maple? Right here, Norman? Okay, and Norman's poppy, which just came up overnight. Wasn't here last night. Beautiful orange poppy. Just come up. Good morning, Bella.
I'm gonna leave that down here, that's all right. Come on.
Jared?
Yes, love?
We're late.
You got my upside down, it's gonna show upside down, Diane. You can't do that.
Oh, okay. I ordered the alligator at Nancy's for dinner tonight.
This is in the
Want to hear the
freezer.
story again?
Yes.
How he sat down at the table?
Not bad.
Yes?
And get Peggy on the. Get Peggy saying yes.
Yes?
No, I'm good to bed.
And I said, "What are you having, darling?" And darling said, "I'll have the alligator." And I said, "No, what are you really having?" And he said, "No, I'll have the alligator." Now tell Jared, tell the camera what you had in black belt.
What does it taste like? The alligator.
Tell what?
What?
I'm black belt origami, third dan. My origami is so fantastic, I'm a killer. Nobody argues with me. I'm a black belt origami, third dan.
Hey!
Hey, nobody. This is Norman.
Norman, tell the camera what you had for dinner. These
What I
are
had
the things
for
we
dinner?
really talk about at
I
Hyden
had all leftovers.
And I had Chinese.
He had a leftover fillet steak.
Yeah, one of your.
A leftover fillet steak.
You had two and I did.
They cook fresh.
And there's three there.
You had one of my steaks.
Well, yes, I had one of your steaks.
I think Norman's going to get a steak through his heart any moment now.
Remember?
From Transylvania, straight through here.
And then there's a few more in there.
Is that?
Yes.
And did you have a proper root? Did you
And this is Madison Square Garden now, and the fight is about to start.
chocolate eclairs?
Yes, but I didn't dare open it.
I knew. He checks the freezer every
No, but I was
day.
trying to clean up the
You're not
thing.
using that.
Yes, of course.
I've got one of those. I've got a video like that as well. You're not using that.
No, I only happened to notice because I was looking for something and I thought, what the hell is this? And I found out what it was.
When
And
I
I
was
said,
in London yesterday, I thought, well, I'll bring them back. They'll do for over the weekend.
Only here we have tomorrow's breakfast. Very good.
That's for the ducks.
There.
That's for the ducks.
Hello, Turks. How you doing? All right. Yeah.
You've had your bottle of scotch tonight, haven't you?
No, but I've had about 3 pints and that's my lot. I've tried for a woman, but she didn't play. Well, no, boyfriend can get stroppy.
We couldn't get rid of them?
Well, that's used my origami.
I thought you were on good terms with your wife again.
No, I didn't kill her. I spoke to her. Be thankful for
I
small
thought you
words.
was looking hopeful. So why are you looking for a woman?
He's hoping he won't return. He won't.
In the peach room, looking out the window of the peach room. Looking down the garden. Looking out on the terrace. Looking over to the sheep meadows, but they've moved our sheep. Just across the way at the view. The nearest house. 2 miles away. Pretty damn good. Here we are at 2 miles. Good morning again. Hi, Nan.
Good morning, Liz.
Is Jared in the tub? Jared having his little morning soak in the great big tub.
Ah, yes.
Hi, Jared. Hi, Lady Di. Hello, hi, man. Hello, views out the windows.
Next time it doesn't go through the window.
It may not go through the window, but we'll give it a try.
Brain is bounced off.
And even if you need to do what everybody has to do when they first get up in the morning, you can do it in comfort and privacy.
Man.
Hi, Uncle Jim. Good morning. Hi to all the doggies and to the herb garden and to the flowering quince through the window. What is it that you want me to do, Jared?
You got a picture of me getting it with my regular camera, please.
You want a still photo of this particular phone booth, and what is there about this phone booth that's so interesting? Do you think we have actually found Doctor Who's phone booth? The very one? Bye, Doctor! When we see you, it'll be another century, another millennium.
Well.
It's not open.
Little Saturday shopping. We're guests for lunch, and we want to stop off and get a bottle of wine, so we found the little town of Frome. And what we have here is a little shopping mall, English style, typical modern English Saturday market day. Family in California.
Hello,
Thank you. Guess what you're doing?
She bought herself a nice price.
Excuse me. Don't think I'm being nosy. I shouldn't trust too much of them.
No, I'm gonna
that
put-
bottle on here.
I'm gonna
One day I had,
yeah.
cans of carrot cake.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of strength. Does somebody drink white
Susan drinks white, I think. Susan? Susan.
Okay, fine.
Bye-bye. You gonna smile?
You're the right color for it.
Say hello? Oh well, I could come after a while.
You want to be in film during your documentary. This is the cheapest thing. Look at that. Look at that.
Now let's have a smile from the cashier. She's so pretty.
I'm getting my money. I'm getting my money. Where did they go?
Is that all right? Gotta get your motorcycles. It's for my nephew. England so far, particularly this part of England, this rural agricultural.
About England is the smell of jasmine in the air.
And would you care to describe what this particular, look at the camera, Marty, and tell her what the jasmine smells like.
Lovely pile of shit you've ever smelled in your life.
Does the jasmine usually grow where the sheep are grazing?
Yes, there are brown piles of jasmine all around the little sheep.
Well, at least you have to admit that it smells different than anywhere else in the world. It smells like jasmine. You can't get
Where
at the
the
glass.
jasmine, put your hands down, dear.
When you open the window, the glass will bounce the infrared off of.
Infrared? I don't see any jasmine. The gate, tell us, Norman.
Now we're going down the road to the big house. These are the small ones.
The lodge.
The animals gone. They don't like it.
Very pretty round.
No, how would you like to do it? Well, no. Thank you, sir. Hello. Edward, I didn't expect to see you. How nice. How lovely. These are my, these are friends. The others are now this is Sir Pickard, Edward, Rosemary, my cousin Jerry, and my cousin Diane.
Hi, excuse me for...
This is Marty and his wife Sue. And this is something for you.
Oh, goodness me. What do you say?
From all of us.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
He'd be very interested in meeting you because he's interested in so many things that you're interested in. I think so.
Publishing, newspaper.
Yeah. Oh, yes, very much that. All right, come on in.
I went to the Bath Antique Fair this morning.
Did you?
This is sweet. I'm going to bring that and sell it for a long
Shall we go out to the, yes, now look, come on. I'll help you. You go with Ward, huh? And I'll go with. Are we on that?
Okay, I'll put one more.
Diane, you're hearing all about the restoration.
I'm sorry, this is going to rather spoil the view.
What do you think? Not at all. Matter of fact,
Actually, if you feel strongly about it, I'll move it.
Just a second, I'm going to pan around slowly.
One of the best views of the house is in fact from over there under that tree.
Thank you. I will go and view it.
Good.
A second.
Lots of sheep there.
Lots of sheep.
Mulberry tree.
Okay.
Do you know a mulberry?
No.
Now that one is as old as and fairly older than the house. Can I have the camera for a moment, please?
Yes, darling.
Thank you, sir.
Of course you may. I want to save, you know, a lot of film for lunch, and tea, and all the important stuff. Gardens.
It's so idyllic here.
We'd be 5, and he said, oh, yes, yes, yes. But if every Englishman has a real love, it's his garden. So we have here the greenhouse and the little vegetable garden. And the laundry. Can't do laundry. Not hang it out on a beautiful sunny day like this. And this is the herb garden. This is the strawberry pots. And of course those beautiful little primroses that you see everywhere. It's pretty, but it's not as pretty as Hyden End. I do say so. And the little gate leading back out to the driveway with an espalier tree on it. They really know how to do a garden here. Lady Pickering is not only a famous and beautiful hostess, but a well-known interior designer and collector, and here is her collection of ornamental eggs. Details of the living room, the secretary, the little end table, family photos. It's all English charm and English taste. Even though she just found out we were arriving, our hostess has set a very beautiful table for us for lunch. The dining room, of course, being beautiful. The house. The clock may not say so, but it is 10 of 2, and it's time for lunch. And who's coming through the door now? Coming in from the outside? Who is this? Norman, introduce herself.
Norman.
He just won the award. He's Bacchus bearing the wine.
Rebecca at the well.
Oh, Rebecca at the well. I thought you were Bacchus with the wine, with all the little satyrs at your feet.
This shoulder is Bacchus and the wine.
A man for all seasons and all religions.
Yeah, did you find the bathroom? No. No. Would you like to?
Oh, this is beautiful. Here she goes again. Yes. Please forgive me. We haven't shot any film for the whole holiday. We realized we're leaving, so suddenly I'm shooting everything like mad. But Isn't this wonderful? I'll zoom in on the cauliflower, you know.
Open up the green fields. The raging 110. All the doors open up for you. I think we're doing.
It is your considered
Coming over here too. That bar.
that those who are coming out on strike
I'm sure there'll be a garbage.
start to use your cell
Yeah, there's
Oh,
somewhere.
I know. I think they. Sorry,
Is there a garbage pail in
yes,
there?
underneath there.
You can see. That's the universal place for it. Okay.
Hello, Susan. You feeling hungry?
I'm overwhelmed.
By the beauty and the good smell.
With the beauty, yes.
It's had a big walk-in larder. You see, they here, big walk-in larder there.
What is a walk-in larder for Diana's later?
Like a big pen.
Moved to the body shop for respraying. Taped up the hinges and they went back.
This is one might be
Lurid blue. And this all had to be taped and the hinges taped. So everything. Nothing's new. It's all bits and pieces.
I love your stuff.
Well, the armour is new.
You've done a lot
The
together.
armour is wonderful.
You've done a lot this season.
Well, yes, but, you know, it's all been on a demanding the skirting boards. You see my skirting boards?
Yes, I saw them.
And, no,
How many
because
pigs have you ever bought? Oh, this is the best. This is the only thing that one should have. This hour.
Oh, it's Friday.
I'll get you a picture of you.
What is that, electric?
no, it's the oil.
It's oil?
Yeah, you get in there.
Oven's very slow.
That's the water.
It's a very special piece of paper.
It's an Aka cooker, which costs about $8,000.
She's like Diane, very much into this.
Works by gas.
But this
They make either gas or electric or coal or oil, then they go different stove.
We had,
Is board good at
But
this?
now, no, it's bad attitude.
We've had 3 little ovens, and then you have these services where you can put many hot dogs. Oh, isn't that beautiful?
You went
Jared,
to
get
all
the car
the
from
weeks there and golf and picked up a little
I'll
one.
tell you, Rosemary is
And,
unique.
Thank you.
And then I picked up,
Rosemary?
I love this. You probably won't think anything of it. I love it. Victoria Pepper National.
Jared, to everybody's very good health and to our
Thank you.
great
Thank you.
camcorder of
Rosemary?
without which we wouldn't be watching
And to
this.
Warren.
It's our birthdays, you know.
Marvelous thing.
No, birthday next Tuesday.
That's all right, this is happy birthday.
It's been 2 days ago, and many happy
Happy
birthdays.
birthday to you.
I'm so glad you made up your minds on the spur of the moment to come and see us. You know, I'm really thrilled.
Oh,
Not nearly as glad as
okay.
we are.
So hard
What?
being a director here.
Oh, what?
Is it on?
Yes, it's on. Did you move out? You just came out to the country? Just recently? You just came out to the country again just recently?
It came last night.
Well, we drove up from town, yes, last night, from London. And that's what we normally do, either Friday or Saturday morning.
Oh, it's like in the city when going to the country. Let me see.
how long does it take you to drive in?
Well, it took me last night 2.5 hours. I had to stop. I was so tired. I had to stop 5 minutes
Oh, dear.
rest. Well, it's 2.5 hour drive. It's quite a long way, and it was 10 o'clock.
Together.
Right with the
All right, okay.
Now, Rosemary, tell us now what you're
Oh no,
about to do.
inhibited now, all inhibited. What am I going to do? Tell you what?
Yes,
where's
you said
makeup?
something about the
Makeup.
veg.
Call my hairdresser, oh, makeup.
Right there, it's very, very nice.
Where's wardrobe? This is my baby.
Oh, yes.
Jared, it doesn't look focused. Is that
A
my...
long, long time. We grew up together.
Yes.
No, I'm older than she is. I was what you call a child abuser. Almost.
You don't know about focus or you take it off?
I don't know, maybe I did.
It's on autofocus.
Oh, good, all right.
Should be fine.
I celebrate something.
And of course, everybody has to respect me because I'm the patriarch of the whole, this whole group. Neil!
No, we
Pedro, are you the oldest person here?
we don't really concentrate hard.
That's all right. You don't have to walk up, she'll come in close to you.
Beautiful, Bella, Bella, I love it. More.
That is so. Carriage is a wait.
Oh, she's so jealous of her sister. I can see now she's gone, you want another career. You're so
No,
jealous.
stop. No.
No, that's enough. You sort of
China closet.
yeah, china closet, and the shelves were all taken away. You see?
Oh, and she turned it into a pass-through. A pass-through for lunch.
Now I can sit and have my morning toast looking at the White Horse of Westbury across there.
Can you see the White Horse?
Wait, we're now about to, we're going to pan across, and we're going to see the view.
All right, come on, food.
Diane.
Come on, that's enough.
I'm here, I'm ready.
It's over. Wait.
Everything will get cold. I'll tell you.
Okay, Jared, just turn around and show me your plate when you're finished. Just show us, tell us, please. What
There's an
do
open
we
roast beef and cauliflower. And that, if you stop shooting, I want to eat. I want to get on the serious stuff.
Oh, you can do it. You sit there in the middle.
Where?
Here, you sit there.
Next to me so I can watch
You
you.
sit there.
Thank you.
Jared, would you go and help yourself to the food, and then sit
All people have just been watching this fun and merriment at the Pickwick House in London. Now we find ourselves...
Pickwick, and we were not.
Now we're down to earth again.
This was Lord and Sir Edward Pickering and his
Lovely wife.
beautiful wife,
Lady Rosemary.
Lady Rosemary.
Lady Rosemary Pickering.
Now, why did we...
And what happened was, I foobed up. I didn't close the camera, I didn't turn the battery off, and we missed, in fact, the highlight of the trip, which was
What was it?
Rosemary and Norman singing wonderful duets while Edward played the
Even
piano.
Jeanette McDonald and Nelson.
It was so bad, I was so bad, I can't believe how bad
What
it
was it? Lord who? Or Sir?
Sir Edward Pickering.
Sir Edward Pickering, what was he doing?
Publishers of the
He
London
was playing the
Times.
piano.
He was accompanying beautifully, and among the songs that were
A
sung.
very high-priced accompanist.
Wait, Susan, what were?
A what?
Norman, what were
A
some?
very high-priced accompanist.
No
His
kidding.
salary is very high.
Has he ever accompanied you before, Norman?
Of course. That's how we got on so well, because he knows exactly. We sometimes fight together. No, he goes one tempo, I go another.
Would you say today was one of your best performances?
Today,
Yes, that we missed?
They
you
were
have to be choking.
so wonderful.
Listen to my voice.
I started to cry. It brought tears to my
Yeah,
eyes.
that's what happened. It made me...
So beautiful. It was so
I know,
touching.
I would love to have you in the audience all the time.
What were some of the things you said?
Well, I did. We did. The Way You Look Tonight. We did Bewitched. We did I Could Write a Book. And Summertime. And
I can write a book as well.
and what was the one I
What
did?
about the blue room that she sang?
Oh, the Gal I Love.
Oh, you did the gal I love. That's right. And what was the last one?
Influences called Reading the Map.
Who's this?
Queen Mary.
Come sit over here.
Yes?
And she would go around, if she saw something, she'd drop it in the parasol. And she had a group of detectives behind her who discreetly made a note of it when they got back. And then returned it to wherever it was, with full of apologies and so on.
It seems to have gotten lost in its place.
But the great thing about Queen Mary, which is a classic bit of film, if you can ever see it, it's in archive down. I came across it once. And this is at Wimbledon, and Wimbledon's always been one of the places where royalty always attends. And traditionally, when royalty arrives or leaves, everybody stands up and bows to the royal box. And on this occasion, Queen Mary is watching it, and it's one of the final matches. And she's bored, and what the hell with it, she gets up and leaves. And they're actually in the middle of a point, playing a point, when she gets up and leaves. And the person receiving the ball then sees it, turns round and bows. And as he bows towards the box, the ball goes boom, boom, boom.
Well, the next time you come, I'll give you the Queen Mary room.
The blue, which one is the
The
Queen
Queen
Mary?
Mary. The blue room.
The blue room. Well, the house,
That's
you
what
know,
takes in Georgia.
I know, but I'm...
see the house.
Only it's got twin beds, they won't like it. But then I've got a big thing I can convert it into a great big double bed. A big king-size bed.
The last time I was here, I stayed in the blue room.
Yeah, but you were alone.
Lovely.
That's right.
And
That's
John
right.
brought me
But
my
you were alone.
breakfast tray.
And that is the room that Queen Mary used to stay in.
But the thing was, you see, the house was built by the Minto family, and Lord Minto was chief viceroy of India, and Lady Minto was chief lady of the bedchamber to Queen Mary.
She was the lady of bedchambers for Queen Mary.
Chief lady of bedchamber.
What does it mean to be the chief lady bedchamber? Do you clean
Well,
up the bedchamber?
well, it's a title.
It's a courtesy title.
Sure,
In fact.
they see them to bed.
And that's why you have the M's on the drain pipes, right?
Yes, that's
right.
the monogram of Minto.
And I've been,
Outside the house.
I know, but I've been putting
Drains
this.
don't drain within the walls.
I said, but I've been
In these
putting-
old houses, they put the drain pipe on the outside.
That's right.
And when I was sitting out on the terrace enjoying the beautiful weather, listening to the birds, and you flushed, I could hear it come right down that drain pipe outside the house. And it says M right there on the drain pipe.
Yes, and I
That's
keep
Lord and Lady
telling
Minto.
everybody that it's called Meyer.
Meyer. Yeah,
What?
Where's my house? M for Meyer. Yes. And so she used to come here all the time and sleep in the blue room.
Planted all the rhododendrons.
And she planted a lot of rhododendrons.
Well, when she planted them, she walked around and said, well, I'll have one there, and I'll have one there.
An easy way to plan things.
Well, exactly. What?
That's an easy way to plan things. I'll have one there and I'll have one there.
Right.
Well, I wish he'd come back again because the llama was right after that hurricane. And he'd come back and say, I'll have one now, and I'll have one now.
And of course, everybody in the house is under strict instructions that if you meet Queen Mary in the night, which they say,
It what?
if you meet Queen Mary in the night, you know, a ghost is reported to still haunt you. I mean, you just don't panic, you just bow and let it go past.
Oh, Queen Mary.
And check,
Well,
and check to make sure your silver's still there.
My wife,
Gerard,
my dear wife, used to say, she'd hear a creak in the house. She said, that's Queen Mary. That's the ghost of Queen Mary, because she believed in ghosts, you know. And how she believed in ghosts.
And
So, Susan, before you leave, be sure and check the contents of your suitcase carefully.
Yeah,
yes.
And I said, it cannot be Queen Mary's ghost because she hasn't been dead that long. You know, they have to be dead.
How long does it take for a ghost to sort of hatch?
Oh, at least 500 years. I mean, it's not a good ghost. It's not 500 years.
Well, yes, I mean, particularly...
But let me tell you something. Speaking of a ghost in this house, let me tell you, my wife decided that she had supernatural powers. You know, I said, what do you mean by supernatural powers? She said, well, for instance, I can be thinking of somebody, and the phone will ring, or the knock will come on the door, and it's them. That happens to everybody. It's happened to me, you know. I'm thinking, the phone ring, and it's them. She said, no. She said, I'll give you an example, a real example. She said, when my mother was dying, I would, and I was at her deathbed, I promised her that she'd never leave me, and I would never leave her. I mean, she would always be with me. She said, it happened. I said, what do you mean it happened? You know, if you have her in your heart, she's always with you. I mean, she said, oh, no. She said, we had to go to the tomb and change tombs, and I found my mother's skull, and I brought it back in a newspaper in my lap. She said, I have it in the house. She's always close to me. I said, for Christ's sake, Elena, put it back. Well, she wouldn't listen to me. So when we moved in this house, one day, we hear screaming. But such screams you'll never, you know, it's unbelievable. So I thought, the bloody servants. I have the television on and the radio on and I'm going down raise hell. I came to the kitchen, there isn't a servant in the place. Nothing is on. And we still hear screams, so we're all running to all this, and right on the top of the stairs, you know where the stairs curve there, there's my wife, cowering in the corner like this and screaming, and she was so frightened she even piddled on the floor. So I ran up to her and I said, Elena, what's the matter? She said, the ghost is up there on the top of the stairs. And I looked and I said, there's no ghost. I don't see anything. So she said, I said, what did it look like? She said, it was a woman with long chiffon dress, white, with a knife in her hand like this and no head. And I said, that's your mother, put it back.
Remind me of one.
It's true, that's true, that happened, you know.
You remember?
You ever see the skull?
No, I didn't want to look at it. But I mean, this was my wife. This is part of her life.
But you remember, just remember the story about the gold room, remember with Derek, with the, you know, Derek the butler.
Oh, I had a butler who was marvelous. I'll explain the butler first. I had a butler called Derek. He was marvelous. From 6 o'clock in the morning till 12 o'clock in the afternoon, he was the greatest. This place was even to the steps outside, you know, they were dressed and what. And then when he got off, he went to the pub and he came back. He got so pissed. He didn't, from then on, he never knew what was happening. He used to put beer cans into the washing machine. Forget they were there.
But this particular afternoon, we had guests in the gold room, and it was all expected that Derek would go up and draw curtains in the evening.
What do you love your feet?
And he goes up to draw the curtains, and he goes in the gold room, draws the main curtains to the gold room, and goes into the bathroom, and there they are both at it in the bath, and they're going at it hammer and tongs.
He says it's my orchard.
And Derek's beautifully dressed and all that. And he says, oh, don't worry about me, I've just come to draw the curtain. He goes to draw the curtain, turns out, and he says, carry on.
You know, and then that was amazing. That was amazing that he did it because he hated to serve. He got so nervous when he served at the table. He was marvelous on the thing with ironing and everything, but except one day, I wasn't well, and I was lying on the couch in the study, and I always had my tea at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It was brought in beautifully served with silver. No tea, no Derek. And I wait, and I'm not feeling well, and I wait. Finally, I thought, where in the hell is he? I go up to his room, and he's sound asleep, like this. I knew he'd been drunk. So I wake him, and I said, I want my tea. And he said, what time is it? I said, it's 5 o'clock. He says, why didn't you call me? I said, why should I call you? You know, you're supposed to be down. I said, now I'm going downstairs. So I wait, I come downstairs, and he comes into the room, no jacket on, no trace, nothing. He says, what did you wait me for? We got company or something? Oh, I've had a procession of servants that'll knock your eyes out. It's unbelievable. I had a woman who had a limp, and she had a dog who was fat who had a limp, and when the both of them walked out, and they were both limping.
The dog copied the limp, and the same right leg. You see them walking down.
And she was a drunk. And one night I was having a very elegant dinner party, and she comes down late, and everything is ready, and we're serving soup, and I did it from the buffet, so I give her the soup, and I didn't know that she was drunk then. I didn't even get the feeling, which is very strange with me. I give her the soup, and before she gets to the woman who's to serve her, she falls off, and the soup goes all over the woman. Then I had another couple, which were marvelous. You weren't here. I don't think you were here then. This couple said they were cook, butler, and everything. And I hired them. They cooked, and I wasn't home. I was not home that night. Tom Corbett was there, and he's very like this, you know. So I understand. They came in, brought the thing. No cutlery, no nothing. He said, how do you expect us to eat? They said, oh, they came in, and of course it was all wrong. And so they finished and go into the drawing room. No, that was, I was there. And we go into the drawing room, and everything is quiet, and I have to go in the kitchen. And there they are, sitting at the dining room table with the candlelight having their dinner. I didn't say a word. They went back, and a few little time later, in they come into the drawing room, and they said, may we join you? And Tom Corbett said, of course you can. Please come in. And he said, and us, we will go out. And you can rest assured that they were gone the next morning. Oh, I've had some beauties.
Norman, start over again. Tell me who you have.
Boys, and two Chinese boys. And they were marvelous, and they came from very good families, but they loved dressing up in their white jackets and playing butlers and that. And they used to cook Chinese.
What do you do when you had company and such?
No, they worked for all the time.
Full-time servants.
Full-time. Then I had a Chinese couple a Chinese couple that took on as au pair. I mean, more than au pair, they were supposedly. And I went away, and he took me to the airport. And when I got out of the car, out of the airport, I said, would you help me with these bags, you know? They did, but I could feel the burning, you know. Well, sure enough, when I got back, there was a letter for me. They're gone. You can carry your own bags. We don't do that.
Really? That's the thing I didn't want yet? Carrying the bag?
Yeah, for taking the bags out. They were working for me. Okay, you can cut. But he was nuts.
He really had style, yeah.
Yeah.
But then he'd do his Mexican night. And I mean, it really was Olay. I mean, the whole thing.
The whole
was
dining was
Mexican,
like in Mexico. With parents and
Oh yeah, well you see, those hooks,
you do the whole
had them all
He
hanging
do
there.
the whole Mexican dinner, and the dining was all Mexican.
Oh yes, and he made his entrance.
He set a table like you've never seen.
What was hanging from the hooks, Norman?
Parrots.
Parrots, paper mache.
Little ones, baby ones, big ones, little ones, you know, all kinds.
Bright Mexican colours.
So he left because there wasn't enough work for him?
No, he left because it was too much work. No, he left because he was nuts.
Well, yes, I mean, he got to a point where...
He was completely crazy.
Yeah. So
he was
okay for a while.
antisocial, and he hated anybody geriatric. Geriatric. He hated any geriatric. I mean, he thought everybody who was here was too old. You know, and I said, don't talk. You know, you're going to get that way very soon yourself.
If you're lucky.
And then one day, but he just didn't. I had a lunch party in there one Sunday, and there were 10 people at the table. Well, around that table, 10 people is a lot of people, you know, and it's very difficult to serve in between. So I said, we'll do it from the buffet, and you serve from the buffet. So the first course went fine. The second course, I went and I saw he was fixing the train. I said, don't bother with the train. Quietly, I said to him, let them come up and help themselves if they want some. He says, who's doing this, you or me? And slammed it down and went upstairs and I never saw him again. Completely bald.
Yes, completely bald.
And I looked a little wild, big, you know, scary guy. But he carried himself like this. Well, now, he's had a complete operation on his whole mouth. They've taken out all his teeth, formed his jaw, which was rather ugly and sinister looking, you know. And I talked to him not too long ago, and he said, I don't even, can't look at myself. He said, I look at myself, but I don't see myself. He said, because I can't get used to my false teeth. I said, I can't get used to them in my mouth. And I said, well, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm doing a cabaret act in the gay pubs, because he was gay. And in the cab, I said, well, what are you doing? He said, I've got an act. He said, my next one is for 300 people. So we're going to get a party up and we're going to go down and see what it's like.
Where's this, in London?
What?
London?
In London. He does a circuit.
But the lovely thing when he was here, and tenants in the cottage there, and the young girl, Amy, was going to a party, to the sort of ball where she really had to dress up. You see, and she came over one day afterwards carrying this dress, and she said, would you give this to Alex? I said, why, what's he going to do with it? She said, nothing, it's his, I borrowed it.
Well, that's nothing, that's nothing. I come downstairs one morning.
Tomorrow.
Well,
What's in
you're
store
going
for
to
us
start
tomorrow?
off with velvet mushroom soup. Then you're going to have a loin pork, done a la Norma. Then with roast potatoes, little roast potatoes, and cabbage and onions a la Norman. And then for dessert, we'll have that ordinary chocolate cake we had tonight.
Susan, what do you think?
Well, we neglected breakfast and lunch in that plan.
This doesn't sound like us at all.
Definitely
This does
not.
not sound like a typical evening sitting around Hyde End, skipping straight to dinner without analyzing carefully what breakfast and lunch are going to be first.
Oh, the breakfast and lunch are going to become brunch.
Okay, brunch. Brunch tomorrow at 11.
And I'm going to.
You may not have seen that, folks. She just fell off her chair.
You're going home and you're going to have pancakes.
Put us in that.
I already cannot button the pants that I wore when I came here.
Well, that says something.
And people
I got
warned me.
news for you. I had the same problem. I wasn't like this before you came here.
I know.
We're bad.
People warned you what, Susan?
Will you be around tomorrow, John? We'll get you telling all your ribald stories about the various naughty people who stayed here, the honeymoon couples and all that. Can you tell the same story twice in 1 week?
Sure, you put a comma in a different place and an exclamation point in another place.
Okay, cut.
This is our last night here. And maid has come already, although we sort of made our mark in the room. You can see we have a rather large king-size bed. It's bigger than king-size. A sitting table. And 2 windows back here that during the daytime just have the most incredible view of the garden. And another window over there. And another window in the front over here. And then we have a not a laundry room, but I guess a dressing room right over here, which we really haven't used at all. And then you have this most incredible bathroom. If you take a look at it, you'll see it's like I'm being reflected in the mirror myself as I take it, but look at this tub. That's the tub, which is the most incredible thing to sit in. And of course, across there you have the Louvre. And 2 more beautiful windows looking out the front. And a additional wash basin. And surprisingly, the tub fills rather quickly. It has this little headboard back there for relaxing and enjoying. And that gives you some idea of the room that we've been staying in for the last 10 days. It's really a remarkable experience, and one that will be really be sad to leave. It will certainly be one that we've had many fond memories and happy thoughts about.
And it's Sunday, May 7th. It's our last morning in Hardin Inn. They've put the sheep back in our sheep meadow. And they're bawling and carrying on. And Norman's setting up breakfast on the terrace. Once again, the sun is shining. And the birds are singing. And the sheep are baaing. And Jared and Diane and Susan and Marty are all crying because we don't want to leave. But Jared's brushing his teeth in anticipation of this great Sunday breakfast that we're going to have. Segueing immediately to lunch in the pub, and then, of course, dinner, because Norman knows what we live for. And now it's back downstairs.
And watch it on the table.
Good morning, Norman. What are those good smells that we're getting upstairs?
What? What?
Tell me, darling, what are the good smells
That's the
that we're
bacon.
getting
I'm
upstairs?
setting the table outside for breakfast.
Oh, I can't wait. It smells so beautiful.
Good morning.
Susan, what do you have to say to the world of the US of A?
I'm glad you're there, I'm glad I'm here, and I wish I could stay.
In the stately homes of England.
Norman, tell us what we're doing now.
Eating. We're eating. It is unbelievable.
Where are we sitting?
On the terrace of Hardin Inn, the stately home of Hardin Inn.
If you die and tilt the camera up, or if you walk around that side and then from the table tilt the camera up, you can see the room there where Queen Mary stayed and looked out onto the estate.
Painting. I'd like to get a donation for it. Keep up with it.
Okay, the Queen Mary room, also known as the Blue Room,
Also known as the Blue Room.
Which I haven't even seen.
which we haven't seen, but we will see.
Many nights.
Are we having American-style breakfast to sort of acclimate ourselves back to the US of A?
This is marvelous. Marvelous, eh?
Pancakes and bacon. Bon appetit,
Marvelous.
all of you. Whom?
Who's that?
We'd be staying in some miserable little B&B someplace eating spaghetti on toast with beans. You know, typical English B&B
If you were
breakfast.
lucky.
If you were
If we
lucky.
were lucky.
Ma che, questo non è il mio destino. Ma che, allora come stai tu? Sì, è come il tempo là. Anche qui siamo, hai mangiato adesso fuori in terrazzo. Ma una sole, adesso una settimana incredibile. Sì, è molto bello, il mio cugino è molto felice. Ma io ho detto, è stato mio parente da New York.